And if we ask the stars what they mean, what would they say back to us? Welcome! You want to go on a card journey today? Give me some of your time, and I'll give you some of your story. Well, let's see what the cards say. Hey, the Sagittarius. Welcome to Koi Play Tarot. My name is Koi, and I'm going to be your tarot card reader for today. As a set of quick announcements, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification button. That way when uploads are made, you can see what the stars are trying to say to you. Also, if you're interested, individual reads back up and open. Either message or email me directly. Link is on main, and we'll set it up, okay? So, Sag, what are we looking at this round of reads? This is going to be your one-to-one read for the month of September. One-to-one is a style of reading that I do where we have person A over here, person B over here, and trying to understand everything going on in between. As a caveat to this style of read, two main things. The first, although they tend to get the label of this a lot, of being a love read, I do not always find them to be lovely, right? I'm not going to automatically guarantee rainbows and sunshine. If I'm good enough as a tarot card reader, and I like to believe so, then that also means that I can talk about real things happening at the table, right? It may not always be the prettiest conversation, but I guarantee you, at least as your reader, it will be a real one. The second, it ain't always gotta be about love. Promise you. It could be a friend, family member, coworker, somebody you just met, right? Just what makes this the most prevalent relationship that we must examine here and now. So as a preamble to your read, Sag, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, but don't always be so willing to reverse. At times, if it gets difficult, understand that I, as your tarot card reader, I'm not here to misguide you or mislead you. Trust me, I work with 12 signs for every round of reads, and I have none of the time to lie to any of them. That would take way too much work, okay? Instead, we lay our cards out on the table. And good or bad, come rain or sunshine, we talk about it, because at the end of the day, tarot is a conversation, just an energetic one. So follow along with me in your read today, Sag, your one-to-one read. And yeah, let's see what the cards say. You're going to be over here, your person's going to be over here. Show us the cards that we need to see, please, for Sagittarius in this read. Between them and their person, show us what's going on. For the cards we need to see, please, for Sag in this read. Your end. Five of Swords. Okay. Why are we so hard on ourselves? Almost like a state of regret, but we're taking everything out on ourselves. Why? On their end, the King of Swords. Either making a decision to do right and better, or trying to do the best of what they got. Okay. There's a situation where I think you're being absolutely unfair to yourself, Sag. Or at least you're saying, it's all my fault, like on repeat. And this person is trying to, while holding your hand, but being very stern with you, is it really, right? Can we correct this? Are there other possibilities? I don't think you're in a stage to accept that answer. Just be flat out and honest, Sag. Whatever they're doing on their end, they're trying to make you see better, bigger, and brighter. But also, hey, here's what we got, and here's how we work with it. Sometimes it is that simple. So if we're trying to make the right decision or the best decision that we can, then it requires choice. And the first thing we got to do is stop saying that we can try to control everything, because in trying to do that, we're also admitting we have absolutely no control over anything at all. Right? I think this person wants you to stop being so hard on yourself, but just take one step back and examine what's going on here. Because right now, you're just, the pain or regret or whatever's going on, it has nowhere to go, so you just turned it inward. Okay. Good. We have two individual positions. Now let's look at fronts and backs. Fronts and backs in this read are locating positions where the backs are what is left unsaid or left to the wayside, and the fronts was being most directly communicated between both parties. So those cards we need to see, please. Fronts and backs in this ATC read for Sag. ATC. Whoa, we just did those. This one-to-one read for Sag. Between Sag and their person, fronts and backs, what's being communicated? So on your end, okay, Page of Wands, you're trying to maintain optimism, although with the page coming out here, especially with your opening position, Sag, it's like the fire's dimming, okay? And the sun. If it's not all fine, then you don't have to say that. Let's come back to this in a second. You'll understand why I had that critique. On their end, Four of Swords, you need to relax, you need to take a chill pill. Ace of Wands, they want to help, they want to be of assistance. The energy is still there, the spirit is still bright, and everything is still on go. The sun is the most happiest card in the deck, Sagittarius. It is literally designed to be that way, right? Unending sunshine, optimism, that things can grow and flourish under it. It's the best you've ever been. That's what you're trying to tell them. What's going on behind the scenes, you have never felt worse. More so, your fire is actually dimming, but we're trying to put on a bright face, a bright smile, and kind of lie our way through it, and hopefully it'll just pass. There are some things you just can't control, but trying to smile your way through this or put up, a fronting appearance of smiling and being content, this person can see right through the BS. It ain't working. Right? Which is why they're saying, that's cool, give me my friend back when they're ready to talk, and tell that person that they need to chill out, right? I'm still interested in helping, trying to find a resolution here, but you can't pretend everything is rainbows and sunshine when it's not, okay? Reveal individual positions between Sag and their person for this one-to-one read. For the cards we need to see, please. Individual positions for Sag and their person in this reading, please. Okay, on your end. Judgment. Okay, now here's a task from the universe. Are you going to listen to him, or are you going to keep on lying about it? Because it's not going anywhere, and you're only turning your swords inwards. What is the lesson to be learned here, Sag, before we just keep on repeating the pattern? On their end, Ten of Wands. Here's the brand that we sit with right now. They know that no matter how many times they tell you, you're just not going to take it. So if they can't help you, the universe is going to make you make a decision. Is it really all busted, unsalvageable, et cetera, or will we take some of this confidant's advice and say, you know what, I'm not gonna, completely blame myself for everything, and try to look at more positive things instead of just crumbling. There's so much more than crumbling. Underneath it all, Page of Cups. There we go. Okay, now not just the optimism training, but gratitude. I thank you for letting me see it this way. It doesn't really change a lot of how I feel, but it does offer an alternative to a problem I said, I don't know if it can be fixed. Okay? Next, now that we have two parties on the board, both looking at each other 1-to-1, let's look at what's being shared in between 1-to-1. Down the middle. So those cards we need to see, please, for Sag in this 1-to-1 read. Down the middle, what is shared between them and their person. What's going on between Sagittarius and their person in this reading? Okay, down the middle. Queen of Pentacles. Yeah. Make the best of what we got. Materially. Make a plan. It'll be a lot better than just sitting around for it. Next, Three of Pentacles. This is a workable dynamic. Something can be salvaged here, but we need to be in the space to actually accept that as fact. The Magician, power of manifestation. I think both of you are trying to move towards that goal. Where it's at right now, not entirely sure, but there's a driving motivation to do right now, to be in action as a verb and do things. Six of Pentacles. The everyday things can make ameliorations, but it starts with the everyday effort. And last, the King of Cups. Trying to give the best of what we got, no matter how big or empty the cup is, though we do still want to pour from our overflow. Okay, underneath it all, Eight of Swords, a feeling of powerlessness. It's still biting at you. Still biting at you. You got a choice to make, Sag. And I think, I'm not saying that this person, quote unquote, has had enough. They seem to have your back through thick and thin, right? This is somebody you definitely want in your corner. That's not the debate here. The debate of what's going on right now is, will you actually take the advice and incorporate it, or are you just smiling to ignore it? And then what are the consequences of doing that? Okay. Resolution. As we move towards resolution, to find the major arcana from across the table in this read, we'll start with the Sun. Why are you trying to constantly tell this person you're happy when they've already told you they can spot the BS a mile away? There's no need to fake it, but why are we so tempted to do so? Show us cards that we see, please, for Sagittarius in this 1-1 read. Define that Sun first. So what's going on here? Okay, so the Sun, Three of Cups. Okay. So I think we found the subject of the matter. Show me Judgment. The Chariot, the card of, yeah, okay. And before I jump on that to the Magician, the Hermit, card of Virgo. Great that you pulled the Hermit. It is Virgo season at the time of recording. Okay, so you feel that you messed up a second chance with somebody, and your person in your corner is saying, well, let's see and look at what you can do and have done right, instead of just saying it's a total and absolute flop. That makes a lot more sense. You're saying you're happy about everything. This person is saying, I know when you're lying, stop playing me. They're having this back and forth with you where you're basically trying to BS your way to happiness. It's not working. And I think that the moment that you actually say out loud all these things that worry you, instead of trying to hold it in or trying to deflect and divert the attention, the easier it actually gets, right? The intention I'm seeing with the Magician is, you know what? I'm going to trust my wisdom. I'm going to trust these healing paths. I'm going to go on them and say that this life is worth living, that this process was all worth it, even if it may not have turned out exactly how I thought it would. Then Judgment to the Chariot. Do you really grasp everything about this opportunity that came your way, or are we only looking at, oh, this failed and therefore I'm a failure, et cetera, and going down that pipeline? Because that's, I think, I'm going to challenge you on this, Sagittarius. Understand, I never say harsh things to like sign bash people. I ain't got the time for it, to be totally honest. But as your reader, to challenge you on this, are you truly getting the purpose of this journey and showing you that you don't have control over everything, and trying to basically micromanage everything is only reproducing this kind of dynamic, this distrust, this everything that's happening? Or are you only taking that out on yourself and not seeing the bigger picture? This person has already told you multiple times there are aspects of this that you had absolutely no control over. And you're saying, no, this reunion, it was all supposed to be perfect and I'm fine. You don't need to worry about me. And this person says, I've known you for a very long time. That's an absolute lie. So we're either going to take the opportunity and learn from this, or we're going to crumble because of it. Either or. Eventually, the hope is that your attitude shifts, but right now, I think once you say the hard part out loud, it gets so much easier. You're just not doing that, Okay, the resolution, Wheel of Fortune. Things can and will change with time, just might take a while. And the Tower, yeah, everything fell apart, right? Underneath it all, Six of Wands, victory to be had if we're able to look in the right places and reposition the perspective. Yeah, that Tower told me everything I needed to know in your resolution, Sag. You thought of this reunion between yourself and another. There is a third party here. I'll be abundantly clear. You and this person are not in a romantic relationship. I don't get that vibe. You and this person, not in a romantic relationship. However, there may have been interest in revitalizing an opportunity with another person that could be romantic or otherwise, but that's not the main point here. What happened was the Tower, it failed spectacularly. Whatever reunion you were trying to have with this third party person, it didn't work out. And now Judgment is challenging you. Are you really getting what was put in front of you? Because either you majorly messed up or maybe this person wasn't meant to be there. And so this person on your supportive party has been challenging you constantly, time and time again, reframe. That's not true. I need you to talk to yourself nicer about it. But you're going to them with emotional responsibility or emotional tasks that aren't matching the emotional responsibility of those tasks, right? So we're telling them these things, but we're not actively listening to anything they have to say. We're just kind of emotionally projecting onto whoever the supportive party is, partly because you know you'll be there, Sag. I don't think you're doing that part intentionally, but it still spells out the same dynamic of, okay, if you keep on coming to me and you're not going to listen, then at least I know you well enough that the smile and happy face, everything is absolute BS. And the moment you drop the act and get real, you can get free. Now, I don't know if they're at their cracking point yet. It doesn't look like it. But yeah, sometimes things don't work out. And if so, then what? Who are we left to be when we tried what we could and it still doesn't work out? Sometimes that's just how it is. Okay? So, yeah, that was pretty much a recap of everything going on, Sag. And that's how I got in your read today. I hope this conversation helps. And you can't control everything. You really can't. But if we are to say, I did my absolute best, and I may not like the outcome, but this is where it's at right now, and we can accept that with grace, we can start to see the positive in everything around us. We aren't there yet, but we are trying. I'll see you around, okay? Take care.